What a World Cup final we've all witnessed and been very privileged to be able to see in the flesh or on your screens, and an absolute fitting way to finish off a fantastic World Cup. There was so much speculation around how this World Cup was going to go, but I had my doubts, but it was absolutely fantastic. I loved every minute of this World Cup, and what a final we got to enjoy to finish this tournament off. You can see I've got the PSG merch on at the moment because it was the Battle of Paris and Mbappe versus Messi, and the game did not disappoint. An absolute game fitting of a World Cup final. Two absolute superstars of the sport. One at the end of his road, one at the start, or still nowhere near his prime. But we were absolutely spoiled for choice when it came to this game. And let's just dive straight into it. It was absolutely fantastic. I loved watching every minute of that final. It had so many ebbs and flows. At the start of the game, Argentina came flying out of the gate. Absolute high-intense pressing, able to really put pressure on France, and France really struggled to settle into this game. But the man of the moment, Lionel Messi, gets his chance, gets a penalty. All tournament has been stepping straight through them and smashing them into the corners. Very, very well done to be able to put that penalty aside, Lloris, and get his side 1-0 up. And then very shortly after, he's instrumental in setting up the second goal there for Di Maria, who, for someone who hasn't played football for 3 weeks, looked absolutely sharp as anything. He was all over that left-hand side of the field. Alvarez again with some good vision, and McAllister, the Premier League Argentinian boys, linking up to set up the Argentinian second goal. And at that point, the way France had come out of the gates, I was very certain that this game was going Argentina's way. Now, if you told me the events that were going to proceed were going to happen, I would have absolutely laughed at your comments there, and you would have seen the short that's gone up tonight. I had that recorded at halftime of this match, and who would have thought, coming out of halftime, Deschamps, a lot of people were very critical of his substitutions in the 40th minute. He took Dembele off, who gave the penalty away, but not even that. He just didn't look up to it in the game. He was very lackadaisical. He gave possession away a few times. He wasn't driving forward, and then I felt for Olivier Giroud because he didn't do much wrong, did Giroud, but the game obviously called for some pace and a bit more directness in the approach. I probably still would have kept Giroud on, and you could have maybe sacrificed a midfielder to make that move. They did get Kolo Muani and Thuram on, who both had significant impacts on this game, and he does prove Deschamps, I think he did make the right decision in the end, getting those guys into the game, but I felt Giroud was a bit harsh, seeing how much he contributed. You knew that France were going to go for broke. I thought that if they were going to start swinging crosses in, he'd still be a good target man. But anyway, we go into half-time at 2-0, and Messi's got one hand on that trophy, but it's not for his teammate here in PSG, in Kylian Mbappe, because he was nowhere. The first 65 minutes, he was absolutely nowhere. I was saying, what's going on with Mbappe? He can't get in the game. He moved inside, and then from that moment he moved inside, he was just electric. He was running in behind. He was creating opportunities. Obviously, he gets that first opportunity from the penalty spot. Absolutely tucks it away, and then a minute later, what a goal. You're not going to see many World Cup final goals better than that second goal. For him to be able to watch that ball come back over the top, hit it first time on the half volley and get it underneath Emi Martinez, who is a fantastic goalkeeper. He's just showing the quality of Kylian Mbappe, and we are going to be absolutely spoilt for the next 12 to 15 years being able to watch Mbappe do his thing with this France squad. I'm going to preface everything and say that I can't believe that France actually got to this point of the tournament and we're within penalties of winning it with no Pogba, no Kante, no Kimpembe, no Benzema. It just shows how well French football's doing at the moment. They've been absolutely flying. They were in the 06 final. They were obviously in 18. They were in 98 as well. It's unbelievable how well French football's set up. But Mbappe gets his second. We go into extra time, but not for lack of effort from Hugo Lloris, who absolutely does well to keep Lionel Messi out in the 96th minute. Heading into extra time, Messi gets the goal, who again, I then went and uploaded the short for the first time. You might have seen it. We did get it up there because I thought at that point that's Argentina done, but Kylian Mbappe had other plans. Again, another penalty. Let me know in the comments if you think that was a penalty. I was on the fence. It probably is. If that happens against Liverpool, I'm probably screaming for a penalty. So I've had some time to think about it. Initially, I couldn't believe that had been given, but I think on reflection, it was probably a fair penalty. And Mbappe does what he does best. He steps up again, goes to that left-hand side, absolutely slots it. But even at that point, the game's still not over because there's still big moments from both ends of the pitch. We've got an absolute monster chance from Kolo Muani, and then there was another chance, which Emi Martinez. I think that's the best save I've ever seen from a goalkeeper. In that moment, in the 119th minute, with the World Cup on the line, 1-on-1, I don't know how that he's pulled that save out with his leg. It's unbelievable. It's unreal, that save. And then I think from the same passage of play, I'm trying to remember what end some of these shots were coming. I know Argentina did have a chance late on. I can't remember who had it. I think it was Lautaro Martinez had one more opportunity going through, but then we were obviously off to penalties from that point, because I do remember there being a corner. So it went off to penalties, and again Mbappe steps up. It would have to be the best performance from a player in a losing World Cup final. Let me know if you agree with that in the comments as well, guys, because that was just absolutely unbelievable. For him to turn it around, score 3, and then score in the penalty shootout. I know people are going to say he scored 2 penalties, but you still need to step up and score penalties. They're not easy. They're not gimmies. And especially against Emi Martinez, he's proven so much that he will go the right way, and he will save them more often than not when he does go the right way. And Mbappe, Messi both show their class in that penalty shootout. I felt for Kingsley Coman, it wasn't a great penalty. Emi Martinez, a lot of right footers do go to that left-hand side. It's just easy. You get that extra bit of whip. And if you don't put it in the side netting, goalkeepers of that quality are going to save it. Then I feel for Tchouaméni, because he was very, very solid. He's tried doing the right thing. He has gone to that left-hand side. Left-hand side, not right-hand side before. But he's just got too much on it. And Martinez probably does save it, seeing the height that it's gone at. And then I love that a young man gets to step up and win it for his country. It shows, like Lautaro Martinez could have stolen that penalty and been the hero once again, but he left it for Montiel, who's a young, promising right back, and absolutely slots it in. Argentina go off and win the World Cup for the 3rd time in their history, and the first time since '86. And Messi, undisputed GOAT. He has to be the greatest of all time. I'm not saying that because just the World Cup victory. He's player of the tournament, and I watched a lot of Argentina this tournament, and he was just controlling every bit of play. He was everywhere. He dropped in deep. He went in behind. He scored penalties. He set up opportunities for his teammates. He just got the job done every single round. He scored in all the knockout games. He's deserving. He stepped up to the plate at 35 years old, has absolutely carried the team over the line, and you can't ask him to win much more. I think the debate has to be over. He's gone and done it. He's immortalised himself with the likes of Maradona for those Argentinian supporters. And as a neutral, but I do have a very big soft spot for Lionel Messi. I'm so proud that he was able to get one before he retired. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you guys very shortly when the Premier League resumes.